May pips be upon you. Hey, I missed you. I straight up missed you. And I'm glad to be back. Last week was filled with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of news, a lot of changing of direction and bias. And it wasn't a great week to give a forecast on, especially for swings. I'm just glad to be back, especially because I missed you guys' feedback and I like to interact with my subscribers. So I'm glad to be back. And we're looking for a great weekend ahead. Looking forward now. So let's start with the Dixie. You know how I like to do it. No intros, none of that stuff. Let's just get right to the action. All right. On the Dixie, we can see the Dixie strength here. All right. Strong impulse. We got this corrective action. We did break these highs, showing a lot of strength. And then we broke from up there. We broke down. Massive impulse to the downside here, breaking these lows, and we established a new low. All right. Got this lower high and then a lower low. Lower high, lower low, right? And then we broke back up to the upside. So what did we do? We established a range, right? And we came back up to the top of that range and we fell from there, a long drop, right? Back to the support. Why did we do that? Why did that happen? Why? Because we created an area of supply up here, all right? A zone of supply. And we hit that zone right at the midpoint. Don't I always point out the midpoint to you guys? You always look at the midpoint. Look at the beginning first. If it's an untouched, untested zone, that it'll probably react off of the door, what I call it, the beginning of the supply zone, right? Like it did here. Came back up, tested it there, and drop. All right. And then when it comes back, it's probably going to go to the midpoint. All right. Which it did here. And see this massive rejection candle here. And we reject all the way to here. But what happens? What happens? Where do we go to? We went to the next opposing zone of demand. This is a demand zone here. What did it do? Come back here. It goes up. Candle test it before it leaves, before price leaves here in a nice energetic impulse. It tested that midpoint. Okay. And what do we do? Why do I keep bringing up these tests? Because these zones of demand and zones of supply, they usually take maybe 3 tests, up to 3 tests. Right around the 3rd or 4th test, that's when it breaks through. All right. That's when it breaks down. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. So we have a supply zone here. I mean, a demand zone here. And we see the initial reaction here. All right. Test the middle of the demand zone. And then it comes back again and gives us this bullish impulse. I mean, this bullish impulse, bullish engulfer. All right. This indicates that price will probably continue up. All right. It's a very strong looking bullish impulse, bullish engulfer. And what you can expect is price will probably come down, test it to the 50% of this candle, and then continue higher. All right, that's on the monthly. If we look at the weekly, we can see it a little closer. We see this double bottom and this bullish engulfer. This is a good indication that price will continue strong. I am looking for dollar strength this week. All right, it may give us some short-term weakness. All right, like I said, it may come down here to the 50% of this candle. All right, and then continue higher. All right, but I believe this support here, this zone of demand will hold and will thrust price to the upside. Okay, if we go to the daily, we can see that price had this initial reaction from here and corrected about 38%. All right, and that's what you want to see on your Fibonacci's as the first level where you expect price to reverse. And that's exactly what it did. It reversed. It broke these highs, indicating more strength. Now, bear in mind, we created a bearish engulfer here So we can expect some short-term downside action. And like I said, I believe price will come down for a short period, maybe down to where we have structure here. All right. And then continue up. All right. So look for that. All right. We have a gap here. Got a little bit of a gap here. So I'm expecting price to fill that gap. All right. Giving it enough incentive, to continue higher. All right. We had our 38% pullback. So let's look for more strength. Now let's get to the pairs. Let's look at USDJPY, USDJPY. All right. Next. All right. On the daily, I'm going to just get right down to it. We see this, we have this uptrend here, all right, and it's been respected up to this point, all right, with a lot of contact there, all right, it's been respected. We see that we had an impulse to the upside, and this is the correction. What am I looking for? I'm looking for price to show exhaustion here, all right, at this level, it's 618 golden ratio, and give us a bullish engulfer so that we can take price higher. Again, this is USD, and I'm expecting strength against the other pairs, so the other currencies, so that we can look for price to continue higher here. And we want to also see price reach this oversold area on the stochastics and give us an indication that price will reverse. Got it? Good. Next, USD Swiss. I can have this one in a similar fashion, except I have, instead of it being on the yellow watch list, I have this on the red list. Why? Because again, we see the impulse, we see the corrective structure here, and then another impulse. Look at this. We had this drop, and it's down to the 618 golden ratio, just like its cousin USDJPY, except we are already touching the oversold area on the stochastics. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to show exhaustion and give us that bullish engulfer from this level at a 0.9192, 91929, 91930, and we could look for a price to go higher from there. Okay. Next, pound USD. All right, we're going to the daily. And what am I looking for? This is kind of funky. Why? Because we're in this range here. All right. We got what the deal is. We have we're looking. We should be looking for longs, but price didn't make any new highs here last week, right? Not last week. 2 weeks ago, it failed to make higher highs. All right. We came down with an impulse, a bearish impulse, and on the 23rd of June last week, well, actually the week before last, and we saw that it failed to get any higher. We made a correction, but the correction was only about 50% of the move, and then we made a lower low last week. We broke those lows. All right, so what are we looking for? Again, I'm looking for USD to be stronger against the other currencies. All right, but we are at support. Do I want to take a short into support? No, I do not. I would like to see price break these lows next week before I get involved in a short on this pair. All right, now look where we're at. We're at the oversold area on the stochastics on the daily. All right, and we've made a higher low, and this on the stochastics and on the on the chart with the pound USD chart, we can see that the currency has made a lower low instead of a higher low. All right, we made a higher low here and a lower low here. That means we have bullish divergence. Doesn't necessarily mean price is going to start shooting up from here, but we might expect some short-term bullishness to enter into the market. We might make a double high here, a double top here, and then price may continue lower. All right, but I'm looking for price to break these lows before I get involved in this pair. That's why I have it on the watch list. Okay, all right, let's move on. Pound Aussie. All right, pound Aussie is another funny one. You see this crazy looking candle here? That's a news candle, and it's just crazy. It doesn't show up on other brokers, but it does show up on this, on the uh, Wanda, right? Now, what do I got here? All right, on the daily, you can see we had this bullish impulse and the correction. The correction came down to the 718, the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. This is the last level that you expect price to reverse. I'm looking for pound to be a little stronger than the Aussie. All right. And if you look at the commitment of traders report, you can see that they are shorting. They're removing long positions. All right, they're exiting their long positions on the pound, but they're adding short positions onto the Aussie as well. All right, so this is a funny pair to trade. It can be kind of tricky. All right, so let's look at the stochastics. And stochastics says that we are oversold on this pair. If price gives me signs of exhaustion here on the, if we look at the 4 hour, if price gives us signs of exhaustion at this level, all right, you see this rejection. I don't need this low to be broken. All right, it gives us signs of exhaustion here and gives us a bullish engulfer to the upside, I would take this trade. But we are heading into some heavy resistance there. All right, so I'm not too keen on taking a long position into resistance. This is one I want to watch. Honestly, this is one I want to watch. So we'll see what price does at this level here. If we break these lows, then I'm going to think that, especially here, we break these lows. Price, I'm looking for price to continue lower. But if this support holds here, then I'm thinking that we're going to equal these highs, and then we're going to break those highs to the upside. Okay. That's all I got on this one. But I'm watching this pair because it's moving, it's dynamic. All right. Next, Euro USD. Now everybody always watches Euro USD, right? Well, if we go to the let me see. Let's go to the 4 hour. I'm looking for shorts on this because again, I'm looking for the US dollar strength against the pairs that it's the other currencies that it's paired with. But I want to point out again, like the pound USD, Euro USD is also showing signs of bullish divergence. All right, but we have made a lower low. Okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, and I'm looking for price to continue to make lows. All right, now we are already showing rejection here with this bearish, this I said bearish, this bullish candle. We've got a little sign of rejection there, but I want to see this low broken. I want to see price shows more signs of exhaustion here and give us a bullish and go, a bearish engulfer like that, like so, breaking these lows here, and that's when I would like to get involved in this pair. Okay, we need to see price give us that bearish engulfer, and we can take it on home. All right, we're over sold here. All right, I need us to be overbought. All right, so with that short-term price action that I was talking about earlier, maybe around this area here. All right, we can get some short-term bullish action there. I'm going to look for price to give us that exhaustion and then that bearish engulfer to the bottom. Okay. Next, Aussie USD. This one's on my hot list. Why? Well, if I can just stop doing that. All right. I like this one. Why? Because we're making lower low, lower high, lower low. We broke this low. We closed lower than these closes, but we haven't broken. We haven't made we haven't gotten a close below that low. I would like to see that. And I think we would need to see it on a daily level. All right. Now, if you want to be more aggressive, we're going to look on the 4-hour. Okay. I hate it when I leave speckles all over the place. All right. Just want you to make note of these lower lows. Right. If with this impulsive action here and this correction, I'm looking for price to give us the signs of exhaustion here in this circle. All right. So we can say, hey, stochastics is already here at the overbought area, the overbought zone. All right. I'd like to see signs of exhaustion here, and then we look for that bearish engulfer so we can take it on down to Chinatown. You understand what I'm talking about? All right. So this one's on the hot list, Aussie USD. All right. Next, CAD yen. This isn't hot. This isn't hot. This is a funky one for me. I'll be honest with you. All right. But I'm watching it. Why? Because look what it's. Why do I? Oh, that drives me crazy. We're making higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs and higher lows. All right. But what happened here? We failed. We failed to make a higher high. Once we made this higher high, we failed to get any higher. All right. What did we end up doing? We end up breaking these lows all the way down here. All right. Now, we come back up, corrected here, made a higher low. All right. Is this going to lead to a higher high? We got to find out. All right. That's why it's a funky one. It's funky to me. But what I like is the fact that we're here, right? We see this range. We see this consolidation here. Broke higher, broke below it, come back to retesting it as resistance. Same zone. And we're back here again. We're testing this same zone. All right. What do I want to see? I want to see signs of exhaustion. All right. I want to see signs of exhaustion. And if we get those signs of exhaustion on the 4-hour, like this candle, all right, we get these dojis going across here, and then we get a bearish engulfer. I would be inclined to get involved in this trade. All right. But because we made a higher low here and we're getting a higher closes relative to these, you know, I'm gonna be holding off and watching this pair. All right. You see, I have this arrow here. We might get a pullback here and then break these highs back into this, back to the top of the range. I'm thinking that might be a likely scenario, being that we've made a higher low here with this bullish engulfer down here. So I'm going to watch this pair. I have it on the watch list, and we'll move on to the next. CAD Swiss. Again, we've created a range. All right. And I'm looking for price to come back down here on the 4-hour. All right. Look where we're at with the stochastics. Where, you know, I'm looking for more of a long position than a short position, because look, we're making high. This was the high here. This is a higher low. This is a high. We broke down lower here, but we came right back up to these highs. All right. High, low, high. You understand? So I'm not inclined to take shorts here. All right. Because we're in this consolidation, I'm waiting for these highs to be broken, and which will give me license to look for long positions. If we come down low and the stochastics is low here, or in the oversold area, I would love to take this long. I would take this long and look to come to the back to the top of this range and break through. That's what I would look for. Next, New Zealand dollar yen. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand US dollar. Doggone it. I'll get it right. See this trend line we got here on the 4 hour? Been respected. All right. What am I looking for? Very simply, we're oversold, overboard, excuse me, overboard on this stochastics. And if we start showing, giving those signs of exhaustion up here, all right, I like signs of exhaustion first, and then that bearish engulfer. I'm looking for that bearish engulfer right around this trend line area. All right, don't get caught on this trend line area and say, I'm going to take it from the trend line area or whatever, because banks are looking for it, looking for you to do that. That's what retailers do. Wait for the confirmation. Wait for the confirmation. Look for signs of exhaustion and then an engulfer. That's good confirmation, all right? And then you could use the stochastics to help you. Once that blue crosses that red while it's in the oversold, the overbought zone, that's when you start looking. You can start looking as a confirmation to look for shorts. You understand? That's why this one's on my hot list, and that's the last one of the pairs. Now I want to do a quick assessment of an analysis of U.S. oil. All right. I don't think it's very hard to see on U.S. oil, to be honest with you. All right. If you look on the chart, you'll see that we had a trend line, high here, high there, been respected in a nice trend line, and then we broke it. Made new lows, a lower low, and then we broke this to the top side. So what do we got going on here right now? All right, on the surface, we see a double top in a downtrend. What did I tell you about double tops and downtrends? That's usually good money. That's usually good money to take shorts. But what do I want to see first? Let's take a look at the weekly. All right, take a good close-up look, and we can see that we have a good rejection from this trend line. All right, this looks like it may be an order block or a supply zone. All right, and I got that dotted line in the middle of it. Where did it go to? The dotted line in the middle. All right, so what do we want to see on a closer inspection? We'll look at the daily, and we want to see signs of exhaustion, exactly as we've been doing. And that's the first sign right there, that doji. Yes, it's a bullish candle, but it's a weak bullish candle. That means the impulse up is exhausting. All right, it's getting tired. All right, and we start to look for the next impulse, the next doji, or a bearish impulse, a bearish engulfer. All right, and we'll probably see the first signs of that bearish engulfer on the 4 hour. All right, that's not an engulfer, folks. what do you want to see? We want to see something like that engulfing over here. So what we have, though, is signs of exhaustion. All of this is signs of exhaustion. Price is not going any higher. All right, so we're looking for the engulfer to appear, a nice bearish engulfer like this candle over here somewhere, and we want to see if we can take price to the downside from up here. All right, and I think that's going to happen this week, probably around Tuesday, Monday evening, Tuesday. What do you call London session? That's where I'll be looking for to take shorts. So I'm looking for shorts here. I'm looking for the confirmation. I'm looking for that engulfer, and we can take it to the downside. Also, I want to take a look at gold. All right, let's take a quick look at gold. There's no long-term outlook on gold for me, as far as I can see. All right, look at this. On the daily, you can see price has been respected here in this upward trend line, right? All right, and that's always positive. So you say, okay, you know, maybe we're still looking for buys. No, not necessarily. We got this corrective action, this corrective structure here. It's complex corrective structure. All right, and then we see there was support here, and then we crashed through, hit it as resistance, came back to find support there again, and now we're back here again, looking at it as support. All right, and we got a double bottom on this support. All right, Does that mean price is going to go up from here? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Why? One, because I'm expecting strength on the US dollar, and the US dollar and gold normally do not correlate positively. All right. They actually go in opposite directions most of the time. If they do correlate positively, you'll see that is usually short term, very short term. All right. But you can see price from the high made this impulse to the downside, which looks corrective in the big scheme of things. You see, this is the swing low, the swing high, and we corrected all the way up to the actually, this is confusing. All right, we see that if we put the fibs on here, if I can get through this, my mouse isn't working right. All right, from the swing low to the swing high, you can see we corrected to the 618 Fibonacci retracement. All right, normal stuff, golden ratio stuff. All right, you see that we made this low, and then we made a lower low, a slightly lower low, but we're in the same zone. All right, you would think maybe price will be heading up and reversing from here. All right, but because we made a lower low, gives me an indication that we might be weak. We came back up, testing these highs in this little range, in this consolidated range here, right? So what are we looking for? What am I looking for? Well, I'm gonna tell you. All right, on the 4 hour, it looks like we are overbought. So I'm looking for the bears to step in, give us signs of exhaustion up here. And what does that mean? Well, look here. All right, price isn't getting any higher, hasn't broken these highs. All right, so I'm looking for that to continue. Maybe one or two more tests, a couple of more doji candles, and we can look for that bearish engulfer that gives us license to say, hey, we're going lower. All right, we're in this consolidative range. All right, I'm looking for price to go lower. If we break this top, then that's fine. And that just indicates that price is going to go higher, and I'll look for long positions in gold. All right, but I'm thinking that the resistance will hold, and we'll go lower. This we're going to keep an eye on. That's why it's on my watch list. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on it, and I think we're going to come back and test this trend line once again, and we may break through it. That's my thoughts on gold. I hope you found this weekly forecast. Why do I keep writing stuff? It's driving me crazy. All right. I hope you found the weekly forecast helpful. And if you did, give a like on the video, and subscribe if you want to catch my updates. And, you know, I like to give updates. Give me as much feedback as you like. If there's a pair that I missed, or you want to see a breakdown for, let me know in the comment section. And I will see you in the next video. And I wish you a lot of pips this week. And please be careful with your position sizes and your risk management. Okay. Talk to you later. Oh my goodness. If I can just get it together.